It's Saturday night at a dimly lit restaurant. A well-dressed man sits at a table, checking his phone, waiting for his date to arrive. At 7:35 p.m., a woman walks in. He looks up, and in a matter of seconds, his entire posture collapses. Because the woman walking toward him isn't his date, it's his wife. The woman who orchestrated this setup didn't attend the dinner. Instead, she posted exactly what she did to Reddit, asking millions of strangers to judge her actions. Overwhelmingly, 74% of them declared her a hero. To understand why, we have to look at how this started. A 31-year-old woman named Maya met a man named David at a birthday party. He was attentive, asked real questions, and made her feel completely seen. Over the next few weeks, they texted daily. Long, genuine conversations that ended with him making a reservation for Saturday night. 3 days before the date, Maya was scrolling through Instagram. She clicked on a tagged photo from the party and followed a digital trail to a public profile. She found 5 years of family holidays, a 3-year anniversary post, and 2 children. The youngest was 18 months old. Maya could have backed out quietly. She could have sent a vague cancellation text and blocked his number. Instead, she tracked down David's wife, sent her every screenshot of their conversations, and handed over the restaurant name and reservation time. Setting up a highly theatrical, extremely public confrontation like this causes massive collateral damage, particularly to a wife who has to experience her marriage ending in a restaurant. Yet, an anonymous digital crowd rewarded the orchestrator with absolute moral validation. When David's wife walked into that restaurant, the confrontation lasted exactly 11 minutes. The wife sat perfectly straight, placing her phone on the table, presumably displaying the screenshots, while David hunched over, his hands flat, completely defeated. When the internet examined this 11-minute encounter, the 74% majority used a very specific concept to justify it. They called it symmetry. The crowd erased Maya as the instigator, arguing she acted as a mirror. David sent a wave of deception, letting it bounce back to its source. The punishment precisely matched the crime. He sat expecting to execute a lie, and instead received a consequence. Online juries are remarkably forgiving of extreme emotional fallout. They will validate an objectively cruel setup as long as the mechanics of the punishment aesthetically mirror the original offense. This horizontal bar chart breaks down the final voting consensus on Reddit. You can see a distinct 19% dissenting group separating from the majority. This group agreed David was the villain, but argued staging a public ambush is cruel to the wife. But the majority attacked the idea of a quiet, private text message. If Maya had bowed out silently, David would have retained the power to manipulate the situation. He could deny the screenshots, label Maya a scorned woman, and gaslight his wife. By ensuring the wife showed up in person, Maya executed total narrative control. David couldn't lie his way out of the restaurant. There was no narrative left for him to manage. In the arena of digital justice, undeniable tactical precision wins out. Closing off a villain's escape routes is valued significantly higher than protecting a victim's privacy. But the most compelling critique came from a top dissenting comment that hit closer to home. It pointed out that Maya didn't orchestrate a restaurant trap just to help the wife. She did it because she wanted the selfish satisfaction of making David sit there and suffer. Maya actually replied to this criticism. She publicly admitted the commenter was right. She confessed she actively wanted David to feel something unavoidable, and that she wanted the satisfaction of knowing he was trapped. Counterintuitively, this admission strengthened her standing. By owning her vindictive motives, Maya abandoned the illusion of being a perfect, selfless hero. She laid her flaws out in the open. Digital communities are inherently cynical. They don't require pure, saintly motives to validate a story. They reward self-aware tacticians who are brutally honest about their own self-interest. In the end, David's marriage imploded, and he walked out of the restaurant without paying his bill. Maya avoided a toxic trap, and the internet permanently crowned her the victor of the encounter. The reaction reveals a clear formula for how we construct right and wrong online. Morally gray, highly theatrical actions will be cheered, provided they are framed as a necessary, tactical strike against a clear villain. But it leaves us with a lingering question. Does perfectly framing your own personal satisfaction as justice actually make your action right? Or does it just make it viral? If you were the wife, would you want the private text or the restaurant ambush? You have to decide if you belong in the 74%